Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know if we're alive yet. Welcome to this week's Face to Facts Friday, your weekly vegan news roundup. And this week, as it is every week, we've got some stories, some controversies, some drama. This week's got a lot more, though, actually. I think there's a lot more controversy and drama in this week's one. So stick around and make sure to stick around all the way till the end because I'm bringing something back, guys. I'm bringing back Meat Flake of the Week. Each week at the end of the Face to Facts Friday, at the end of the Vegan News Roundup, I'm going to share with you my picks for Meat Flake of the Week. Now, these Meat Flakes of the Week, they're going to be private messages. They're going to be public comments. They're going to be things that I've seen online that have either been sent to me or I've seen them myself that I'm going to show you. So it's going to be like some real behind the scenes meat flakery shit that maybe you would never see. So make sure to stick around all the way till the end for that. And if you enjoy these live streams, if you really want to support, you want to get your comment up on the screen, then make sure to click the top link in the pinned comment. That'll take you through to Streamlabs and you can drop a contribution and it'll come up on the screen. That's the best way to support the stream. And the second best way is to do the YouTube super chats. You can choose which one you go for, but the Streamlabs one is the best for me. Takes less of a cut. So we're going to start with the title of this video, Anti-Vegan Psychopaths, right? I'm going to show you some anti-vegan psychopaths. That's the first story of the day. Before we get into this, I want to clarify something real clear. I want to clarify something real clear. I want to make something real clear. I want to clarify something with you. When I use the word psychopath, I'm not using it as like an insult. Scumbag would be an insult. That's a word you're going to hear a lot with these guys. But psychopath, not necessarily as an insult. I'm actually using it in the general, like the actual definition of psychopath. The definition that I've found out that makes the most sense here would be a person having an egocentric and antisocial personality marked by a lack of remorse for one's actions, an absence of empathy for others, and often criminal tendencies. Now, I don't know about the personality antisocial stuff, but the lack of remorse for one's actions, absence of empathy for others, and also in this case, I would say they would be considered to be violent psychopaths, actually. We're going to talk about this couple that is running I believe, a farm, and they've recently been triggered by vegans. Now, the vegans animal rights activists were coming at them because they were talking about how they enjoy skinning and eating animals and killing them themselves after they raised or whatever, after they were looking after them, and then they started killing them. So they were so triggered by vegans that they decided to show us all their true psychopathic nature, putting all the doubt aside as to whether or not, they claim they're doing it because of whatever. Oh, yeah, it's sustainability, all that shit. When in reality, what I'm about to show you proves that they are doing it because they are sick fucks. All right. So let me show you why I'm saying that. These individuals that I'm about to show you were so triggered by vegans that they made aprons. Okay? See this? It says here, more aprons available. So they're selling aprons. What does the apron say? Murder apron. And what are they doing here? Well, you can see she's holding a rabbit and she's eating a piece of a dead rabbit that she's cooked. And it goes on like that. There's more of them. Here is her with her murder apron holding a knife, which is, apparently looks like it's in a sheath, but either way, and holding a bunny next to each other with a nice smug face. Now, I used the word psychopath. I mean, I'm not necessarily an expert on what is or isn't a psychopath, right? But if you were to look at these photos and compare them to, I don't know, photos of someone not doing this, if you had to make a bet as to which one of them would potentially be a psychopath, I think you'd vote this one, right? You get what I'm saying here? This is kind of what you'd expect from someone who was a violent psychopath. And here's again, photo of her shoving the piece of dead rabbit in her face, getting it all over her face, looking really, whilst holding the rabbit, wearing an apron that says murder apron. And again, another one seems very pleased to have, the dead rabbit all over her face while she's holding a rabbit. And another one, similar. And there is another photo here, this one as well. This one's, she's holding scissors this time, and a bird, a smaller bird, and scissors. Looking very pleased with herself that she's, wearing an apron that says murder apron, and I guess insinuating that she's going to use the scissors to kill the bird. And here's a photo of her. Apologies for this, guys, if this is this may bother you, and it should, but she's wearing the murder apron with a decapitated rabbit and the body of the decapitated rabbit there in the background. Looking very slowly, looking very pleased with herself. Animals, they have the same capacity or less mentally as human children, right? They don't understand the world around them. They trust people that they probably shouldn't trust a lot, right? They're easily manipulated. Children are easily manipulated, and so are most animals, all right? They don't understand things the same way that adult humans understand things. These abusive pieces of shit completely take advantage of all of that to do horrible shit like this. And what we need to understand here when we see this is that that is what she's doing. She is abusing animals that have the same or less mental capacity than a human child. We defend human children, and we defend those we perceive to be weaker than ourselves, humans that we perceive to be weaker than ourselves, like humans with disabilities or humans who just are struggling in life. Even other animals that we sometimes defend, when we see an injured animal struggling with life, when we see a disabled animal, most people will feel empathy and want to help because we sense that they are completely defenseless, right? We sense that they need help. We see it. We don't like it. People like this, they wear an apron that says murder apron, and they enjoy posing in photos like this and threatening them with knives and scissors. Well, it's not a threat because they actually follow through. They are killing these animals with knives. They are actually following through, slitting their throats and ripping the skin off them. And they enjoy it, guys. She enjoys it. Her and her partner, they enjoy doing this. You've got to look at this and make a decision. You're either vegan and you're against these disgusting pieces of shit, or you're not vegan and you are taking their side. If you aren't vegan and you don't take their side, if you aren't vegan and you disagree with what they are doing, then you're a hypocrite, because you're paying people just like them to do this on a daily basis by paying for animal products. So if you're against these people, take a stance against them. These people, she is a psychopath in our society who enjoys violence to helpless animals. You can take a stance, and it starts with going vegan, taking a stance against people like this. You get people in society who they don't know the damage they're doing. They don't really know what's happening to the animals and what they're paying for. And these people are ignorant. That's what they are. They are ignorant, all right? Blissfully ignorant, willfully ignorant, whatever you want to call it. You have people who find out, right? And they know what they're paying for, but they don't want it to be real, so they're in denial. They're arrogant, ignorant, and in denial, okay? You get people who know what they're paying for and say, fuck it, I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't care, right? And if they genuinely don't care, and they're happy to see the abuse, happy as long as they get what they want, we're into a dangerous area. That person could be a dangerous person, potentially a psychopath, potentially someone to be wary of. And then you get people who actually want to do it and physically enjoy it. They don't, by the way, in every case here, it's not necessary. Let me make that clear. It is not necessary to do this. And you get people who know it's not necessary, like these people, but they do it because they enjoy it. And that to me falls into the category of, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm going to go ahead and make a bet. I would bet a lot of money that this person would be a psychopath. There's a very high chance that they're a psychopath, a violent psychopath I'm talking about here. Because being a psychopath in general is not something that is always associated with violence. There are people genuinely suffering from that as a condition. Here I'm talking about a potentially violent psychopath because of what she's doing, because of the violence she's putting on these animals and the pleasure she takes from it. Fucking disgusting, guys, is what it is. Absolutely disgusting. So that's all I've got to say about that. I wanted to show you it to give you. I mean, I wanted to show you it because a lot of people have actually seen it, to be honest with you. A lot of people have seen it, and I wanted to respond to it. And I will make a shorter clip, a shorter version of what I've just said in a clip, and I'll post it separately. So when that goes live, you can share that with non-vegans and give some people a smack in the face with it as well. The next story we're going to talk about is actually from whatagnet.com, our favorites. You know those guys? Have I shown you them before? I'm sure I have. Whatpoultry.com, these guys, the animal agriculture industry, the egg and chicken industry, kind of behind the scenes kind of website. They put out a story, guys, and the story is, oh yeah, you're asking me, sorry, about the last story. What was the link? The reason I'm not telling you what that last story is, the reason I'm not telling you what their page is because they're enjoying having all of the attention. Facebook will not remove it. Facebook will not ban it. So all you'll be doing is giving them what they want if you go to their page. So I'm not telling you the name of that page for that exact reason, because I know what you want to do, and I know it's emotional, and I want to go over and give them shit too, but no, it helps them. Let's not do that, all right? So this next story, whatpoultry.com did a story here where they talked about Smithfield, massive meat producer, claiming that animal activists are behaving like Antifa, saying that animal rights activist behaviors are becoming increasingly aggressive, so it's imperative to counter those actions with transparency. The Smithfield CEO, here's the exact quote he made just here, right? Says, I think you're seeing animal activists becoming more and more aggressive. They're undertaking Antifa-like activities, raiding farms, breaching biosecurity, and endangering herds of animals. And that's trouble. Raiding farms. By raiding farms, I think he means that when activists peacefully enter the buildings, right? These farms, these buildings that are literally left unlocked 99% of the time, and activists take animals out of the hell that they're in these places. It's not really a raid, is it? It's a bit dramatic to call it a raid. And even when it is a lot of activists that go in, they sit and hold the place down. They're not smashing things most of the time. They're not trying to damage it. They're just holding it down and stopping you from working for the day. Hardly a raid, all right? And look, Antifa, especially in recent times, is known for violence. Antifa go out and beat the shit out of people, right? I've seen, if you haven't seen this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is all new to you, just Google it. Just YouTube search Antifa fight and watch how many fights you'll see on YouTube of Antifa members, throwing the first punch a lot of the time on journalists, on personalities, political speakers they don't agree with. These guys can be very violent. And I say these guys, I don't, obviously not all of them, but yeah, a lot of them have been very violent, all right? And they're saying that animal rights activists are acting like Antifa because they want to spring up some, people to be afraid of us and see us as violent, right? So that people will start to condemn us rather than identifying and saying, well, maybe these guys are fighting for the right reason. If they link us with Antifa, then they're linking us with violence, because most of the public in the USA especially has seen that Antifa is quite violent. So, I mean, I thought about this a little bit, guys, and I realized that, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe this guy is right? This CEO of Smithfield. Because did you hear recently about this really violent act that happened where these 5 animal activists beat the shit out of a hunter? Did you hear about that? Oh, no, wait. Sorry, wait. It wasn't that. It was the other way around. 5 hunters beat the shit out of an animal activist because he was trying to defend the animals from them. They left him unconscious and left him for dead and beat him so badly that he's going to need plastic surgery. But what? We're the ones that are acting like Antifa? We're the ones that are acting violently? Yeah, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. And anyway, if you want to talk about violence, there is nothing more violent than what these people are doing. Breeding animals in captivity abusing their bodies and killing them for profit. And they're upset because some activists go on their farms, take some videos and footage and take some animals out, and they call us violent. Get a fucking grip. Next up, guys, next story, an interesting one. South Africa is going to ban breeding lions in captivity for hunting. Now, there's some good news and some bad news here. Because, yes, they're going to ban breeding lions in captivity for hunting. So they won't be using captive lions anymore, setting them out into the wild and letting people kill them. And they also won't be using them in petting zoos. This is very good. But the bad news is, as I'm going to just scroll down and find you right now, the bad news is legal regulated hunting of the iconic species under the regulatory environment will continue to be permitted. Which basically what it's trying to tell you is that they're going to stop breeding captive lions and letting people kill them and use them for profit, but they're going to continue breeding them in the wild, basically making sure they have everything they need to keep breeding in the wild and keep letting people kill them in the wild. So it's like a small step forward, but then in the same breath, they're like, we're not going to let them kill them anymore, only if they're in the wild. It's a big battle, this hunting of these animals, the wild animals. It's a big battle that we're fighting against, and hunting doesn't get enough attention from us, I think, because obviously we are focused on trying to stop the biggest atrocities, which is animal agriculture, as number one. But fuck, it's an absolute disgrace that I can't even understand how hunting is still accepted by anyone. I mean, I don't give a shit what kind of economy it brings in. I don't care about the profit it's bringing. I don't care about people going out of work and losing jobs. We're talking about life or death. These are the usual arguments people bring up. Why should they be allowed to kill and hunt lions? People say, well, they need to earn money in those countries. Come the fuck on. This is life and death. These are living, breathing animals. It should not be permitted, full stop. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, David, for working for my most beloved companions in this cruel world, animals. Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate your super chat and your lovely words. Thank you. Yeah, so one step forward, one step back. At least they're not going to breed them and send them out into there and let them be killed and used as fucking petting zoos and stuff. But they're still going to kill them. It's bittersweet, And we're staying with wild animals for the next story as well. Check this out. So in Colorado, a woman was killed in a bear attack, right? So what did they fucking do? These absolute scumbags. So she was killed, found dead in an area, right? Her dogs escaped. And what they did, let me just find it for you. Where is it? What did they do? What they did, here it is. A black bear and 2 young bears were located nearby and euthanized. Located nearby and euthanized. Listen to that fucking wording. What they did, they didn't locate them and euthanize them. They tracked them down and killed them because they attacked a woman who was in a fucking park where the bears lived. How do we live in this fucked up world where people think, oh, well, I walked through a park and a bear attacked me and killed me. So then you go and kill the bear because that bear did fuck all wrong. Stay out of the territory of bears. It's that simple. And if this bear had been attacking multiple people, then you relocate the bear somewhere away from people, right? Or even just with this one attack, relocate the bears away from people. But they won't do that, right? Because what? Because that costs money. It costs too much money. What it's cheaper to do is just go out with a gun and shoot them in the fucking head, right? It's cheaper to do that because they don't give a shit. They don't value life. How do we get to this point where it's like, if this bear had been attacking multiple people, right? And coming into the town or closer to where people live and attacking people, killing people, in self-defense, killing the bear would probably be justified in that case, right? If it was happening in that case. But why are we not exploring every fucking avenue before we get to the point of shooting an animal and killing them? That should be the last resort. That should be right, we don't know what else to do. This bear is going to kill someone again. We have to kill the bear. We have to do it. Why is it just immediately, right, bear attack, one person in a park, kill them? Insane. Fucking insane, guys. sickens me, you know. And I don't know what people think about this. Like the public, is the public for or against this kind of thing? Like, what is the public thinking about that? Do you guys know? Have you seen anyone talking about this in like Colorado, you know, or anyone else talking about this? Anyone outside of animal rights and vegan spaces? I'd like to think that most of the public would have a problem with it, to be honest, because they're hypocrites most of the time, right? Selective compassion. And that actually ties into the next story. Speaking of selective compassion. So check this out. There's a big YouTuber, Nikki Philippi. Do you guys know who this is? Nikki Philippi. So they did a YouTube video. They're like a lifestyle blogger couple, whatever. I don't fucking care, to be honest with you. I don't know who these people are, right? I just saw this. They killed their dog. Now, let me explain what's going on here, right? Because you can see here, Nikki Philippi sparks outrage after she put a dog to rest for biting her son. Let me explain what happened. I watched the video. They had a dog from a puppy, okay? And they kept this dog for 10 years. This dog was a member of their family for 10 years. They then had a baby. This baby started crawling around, and the dog and the baby had some disagreements. The dog actually bit the baby, not too seriously, but bit the baby nonetheless. That's pretty bad. In fact, no, it's not pretty bad. It's very fucking bad. It's very bad. So what they did was they called the Humane League or whatever, whoever they call, Humane Society, Humane League, and they asked, what can we do? And the Humane League apparently told them, you can't do anything. This dog is not going to be adopted by anyone. So they just fucking killed the dog. 10 years and they killed the dog. 10 fucking years, guys. What the fuck? Right? What the fuck is wrong with people? But here's the deal. Here's the deal. People are mad about this. Really fucking mad. And I want to point something out. And before I point it out, I want to show you a little clip that Rose put together from Cheap Lazy Vegans. So she's made a video about this. And I want to just quickly play this clip for you. It gives you an idea of what I'm also going to talk about. So check this out.
I'm just gonna read you some of the comments that I screenshot yesterday. You and your wife are sick. I cannot believe you murdered your dog. He didn't die, you murdered him. No sympathy. I think the words you needed to say were, we murdered our dog. You didn't even try. You should be disgusted with yourself. He didn't pass. He was murdered. Shame on you both for murdering your dog. This is not a good look, and I'm absolutely disgusted. Do I disagree with those comments? No, I'm not disagreeing with anything. I personally don't use the word murder when I describe what happens to animals because I've been trained not to by not just non-vegans but also vegans. We've been told that using the word murder is wrong because we're not describing what's happening to humans, but also it's not a good communication tool, which I do agree, okay? Because as vegans, we're a very, very small fringe group, okay? And in order to communicate properly, I do agree that we don't want to be super, aggressive.
So I wanted to show you that little clip because, as you know, for me, I don't hold back on using words that are accurate to describe what is happening. So I use words like rape and Holocaust and slavery to describe what's happening to the animals because cows are raped in the dairy industry. Farmers shove their hands inside them to impregnate them. They are enslaved, i.e., they are not free. They are born into a life of captivity. That is the definition of slavery. And it is a Holocaust because they are killed in the millions, billions. It is a Holocaust. I've always held back on the word murder for the same reasons that Rose is talking about here. I've been told it's not accurate. It tends to just cause a fight every time I use it. And also, by definition, I haven't found it to be accurate to use the word murder. I can use other words. But look at the hypocrisy of people. The same people who come after us for saying that animals are murdered are so quick to call it murder when it's to an animal they give a shit about, right? Animal activists we're not supposed to call it murder because it's apparently reserved for humans. But as Rose said in this video as well, how quickly people switch once it's an animal they give a shit about, right? How quickly it becomes murder once it's a dog. If you look at these people and what they did to their dog, if you look at them and you're pissed off, You say they fucking murdered their dog. They killed their dog. 10 years. That dog was a member of their family for 10 years and they killed them. If you're angry and you would call them out, you would say that is bullshit. Then why aren't you also angry about the people who are killing cows, pigs, chickens, and all these other animals? What does a dog have that these other animals don't have that makes it wrong to kill the dog and murder to kill the dog, but not wrong to kill all these other animals and not murder to kill these other animals? And look, before you tell me, right, these animals aren't bred for food, but dogs... Let me just clarify. Let me go through that again, all right? Before you tell me those animals are bred for food and dogs aren't bred for food, this bullshit that comes up, just know that this is bullshit, because dogs are bred for food. And every single time Yulin Festival comes around, everyone gets fucking angry about it and upset about it. And all of a sudden, it's the worst thing. And everyone's talking about how they murdered dogs and killed dogs. But those dogs are bred for food. So cut the bullshit. People need to stop being hypocrites about this, right? Dogs, cats, cows, pigs. These animals are equal in the way that they all want to live without being used, abused, and killed, just like you. The dog wants to live without being used, abused, or killed, just the same as the cow wants to live without being used, abused, or killed, just the same as the chickens want to live without being used, abused, or killed, just the same as you want to live without being used, abused, or killed. It's not fucking rocket science, right? It isn't. And then whether they're bred for food or not is completely fucking irrelevant to the animal, to them. Do you think a dog in wherever they eat dogs is like, well, I was bred for this, so it's fine? Or the chicken's like, well, this is my purpose as a chicken, so it's fine. You put the purpose on them. They weren't born for that. Like, that's not in their eyes, that is not the reason they live. They don't see life like that. You put this life on them. You put this burden on them that they have to be slaughtered, killed, murdered, whatever you call it, for your fucking plate. You do this to them, not someone else. You do it to them. So if you have a problem with this couple, as you should have a problem with this couple who killed their dog of 10 years because their priorities shifted, because their situation changed, that dog did nothing to deserve that. That dog was being a dog, right? That they had done nothing to deserve having a fucking needle put in them and being injected with poison that kills them. They did nothing to deserve that. They were not born for that. It wasn't their purpose. This life was forced on them by their bullshit owners. If this bothers you, then it should bother you. All those other animals who have this shit forced on them by you should also bother you. Be consistent. Go vegan. Stop paying for all of this to happen to them and stop being a hypocrite. It's really that simple, guys. And I am mad about that couple, honestly. Artemis, thank you, David, for the work you do. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Fucking sick, guys. But look, I mean, the conversation going on around all of this drama with that YouTube couple, it's good that this conversation is kicking off, that it gives... It's a good opportunity. It's a horrible thing to have happened to that dog, but we can use it to create something positive in that we can show people that if you care about this dog, you should care about all of these animals. And we can make sure that dog didn't die for nothing. We can make sure that that dog wasn't killed by these YouTube influencer fucks for nothing. And they cry in the video and they seem like really sorry about it. And they're like, oh, you know, this dog was his partner. Like, you know, he loved this dog so much, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you've sympathy from me. You're not fucking getting it. You killed your dog, you sick fucks. Fuck me. Like, there's so many ways you could have gotten around this, you know. There's so many ways you could have gotten around this. There are so many vegans in the world and not even just vegans. There are so many non-vegan dog lovers who would have taken that dog in a fucking snap. They would have said, send that dog, put that dog on a flight or whatever. Don't kill them. You know, people would have begged them if they just used their platform to actually do some good rather than just talking about their selfish influencer bullshit lives. Actually use their platform to say, hey guys, could someone help? Our dog just bit our baby and we don't want to kill the dog, but we can't keep the dog. Someone, YouTube world, all of our hundreds of thousands of subscribers, can somebody help? You really think someone's not going to be able to help? Selfish, self-obsessed fucks. This is a really hard Face to Facts Friday today, guys. I'm pissed off with that one. I think I'm just in a bad mood in general, though, to be honest with you, and they're taking the brunt of it. But seriously, guys, come on. Let's look at some good news. And don't forget, guys, don't go anywhere just yet because we've got the meat flakes of the week coming up, all right? We're going to have some fun with that. But before we get to that, let's talk about something positive, something pretty cool over in the UK. Surge has reported on this, and Co-op, which is a supermarket in the UK, they have decided to halve the prices of the plant-based range to make carbon-friendly vegan food less unfair, they say it. So they sell like plant-based sausages and different plant-based meats and stuff like that, and they're going to halve it. And it turns out they've already done it. Vegan sausages go down from £3 to £1.45. Burgers from £3 to £1.45. Mince from £3 down to £1.75. That is fucking cool, huh? How good is that? I just really hope, right, that supermarkets start to follow suit. I mean, they're doing it because of the carbon-friendly thing, but who gives a shit why they're doing it? Just drop the prices and make it more attractive for people who want that fake meat, right? Because obviously, we all know that we don't need fake meats to be vegan. We all know we don't need fake meats to not abuse animals, right? But it fucking helps, guys. It fucking helps. I'm sorry, it helps. Like when you get these people who are like obsessed with food and you can show them a product that tastes exactly the same, it looks exactly the same, and it's the same price or cheaper. It's a lot easier to get into that. It's a lot easier to have someone just like, you know, get the things they like to eat, right? It's always good if someone can be like, right, I'm vegan because you're right, this abuse is wrong. And then they can go to the store and not only are they like, yes, the abuse is wrong, but then they're like, and I can get all this fucking awesome food without it. This is brilliant. Versus it's less convenient sometimes when this stuff is more expensive and or not available. That's not an excuse, but it's great if it is convenient, right? It's great if it is convenient. So happy about that. Definitely good that the specialist vegan food is getting its slashed, prices slashed. The more that happens, the better. You know, even some of the, I think, what was the CEO of Tyson Foods, I believe? The CEO of Tyson Foods said, if we can make meat without the animal, why wouldn't we? So the cheaper that these products become, these fake meats, and the more easier they are to make, the sooner these monster companies that are killing fuckloads of animals will switch, not because they give a shit about the ethics, but because they give a shit about the money and all the difficulties that come with, you know, producing meat that way. Like, they don't want to do it that way. It's inefficient, causes them loads of problems. The plant-based alternative to it could solve all of that. It just needs to get cheaper and needs to get easier, and then it'll be on. Yeah, Melly, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much. Hypocrites go vegan. Yes, absolutely. Stop being a fucking hypocrite, guys. Not you guys. Unless you're not vegan, then stop being a fucking hypocrite. Woo, right. We are on to the meat flakes. Are you ready for some meat flakes, guys? Are you ready for some meat flakery? We got 3 meat flakes of the week this week. I want to come up with a theme song for this, right? Do you guys know a Flavor of the Week by American Hi-Fi? An old song, like, I think it was in like the noughties or something. You know, do you know it? She's just the flavor of the week. Do 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 do. I'm thinking about using that for the theme tune to this. They're just the meat flakes of the week, but I don't know how to do it. I need to like, get the original song and somehow take out the words and put my words in, basically. But that's what I'm thinking of, a theme tune. Or if you want to make me a theme tune, you can make me a theme tune, guys. If any of you are like, you know, if you're skilled in that way. But let's take a look at what we've got, right? Meat flake. Oh, wait a minute. Where are my other meat flakes? Okay, we're all here. Yeah, we're all here. The meat flakes are here. All right, here's number 1. Meat flake number 1. This came from an Instagram friend or Instagram connection of mine who sent me this and said, "Hey, this guy keeps sending me shit like this every time I post something on my account." So I'll read it out for everyone. This isn't to me, this is to this other person. Activism is one thing, slacktivism is embarrassing. Even more embarrassing than that is slacktivism, which doesn't take into account all important factors and is just a feel-good thing and a lame opportunity to be snobbish about things or against others when one doesn't even have much knowledge about. I'm just saying. Energy density, input versus output, demand and supply curve, and the fact that beans, peas, and lentils don't contain B12 nor all essential proteins is something that a college-going vegan should definitely know about. You can repeat that one should be as vegan as far as possible, right? That's my point. But slacktivist vegans don't get to decide that for people's lives, which have different lifestyles and hardships, and especially not the ones who have little understanding of economics. Oh, now this person's apparently a lawyer. All right. And apparently they are mostly supportive of this individual's veganism until she posts anything about veganism on her page, right? So what I'm looking at here basically is some pseudo-intellectual, stuck-up little shit who feels guilty whenever this person talks about veganism. So he tries to guilt her into not talking about veganism by accusing her of doing slacktivism. You see how it works? Because what this person's doing is trying to act like her posting things isn't activism. So when she makes a post, it's not activism, it's slacktivism. It's fake activism is what he's trying to say. Because every time she posts it, it triggers him and makes him feel shit. So this is how he's strong-arming her. He's trying to overpower her so that she'll stop posting it, right? And just to go into a little bit more here, this bit about essential proteins, the irony of him saying that, you know, beans and peas and lentils don't have essential proteins, and this is something that a college-going vegan should definitely know about. The fucking irony that he is preaching pseudoscience. It has been debunked that they are not complete proteins. That has been debunked. They are complete proteins. The only thing that you can eat that isn't a complete protein is gelatin. Everything else that you eat has all the amino acids in it. In differing levels, sure, but all foods have all amino acids apart from gelatin. All vegetable foods have all amino acids apart from gelatin. So this guy's chatting pseudoscience bullshit and saying this person should know what they're talking about. Fucking meat flake. On this bit at the end as well, and especially not the one who have little understanding of economics. Pseudo-intellectual meat flake fuck. Next. That would have been cooler if it went next right away. Look at this shit, guys. Look at this shit. This is from, like, I don't know, this World Carnivore Tribe, some shit. I don't know what the fuck that even is. But look at this guy. 0% vegan. Do you know what's great about this, guys? What's great about this is that he has the word vegan tattooed on his body for life. What a fucking melon. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So now, not even, you know, a lot of vegans don't even have the word vegan tattooed on them. I don't even have the word vegan tattooed on me. This guy has the word vegan on him for life. For life, unless he gets it cut across or like covered. Imagine how triggered you have to be as a fucking meat flake to get that tattoo. Like, just think about it for a second, right? So you've got vegans who are ultimately like not the norm, right? Vegans were not the norm. Everyone else is the norm. Vegans aren't really in the norm. There's more vegans now and it's becoming more and more like mainstream, but ultimately we are not the norm in terms of like what normal people do, right? We're not the majority. So vegans sometimes get tattoos because it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a rebellious thing. It's like, fuck you, fuck the norm, fuck the system. I'm tattooing myself with this vegan thing because, you know, fuck you guys, right? It's an act of rebellion. When you tattoo 0% vegan on yourself, it's not rebellious at all. It's completely like, you might as well just have a tattoo that says, I am the norm. Like, I don't rebel. I am what everybody is. I am the majority. Might as well replace that with majority. It's like, it's the least rebellious thing you could ever do. And then he thinks he's such a badass. And it's just like so pathetic. It's just like, I conform, is what this tattoo says. I conform. I am like everyone else. Oh my God, right? And one more thing as well. I don't want to like body shame or anything, but what the fuck is going on here, guys? Is that like a camera thing? Is that like a what happened? Like what's going on there, guys? That's kind of freaking me out. Am I missing something here? Do you guys know? All right, next. All right, this one comes from someone sent me this today. I woke up to this morning, 9 a.m. as you can see. Hi, David. Just so you know, I hate you with a passion. You are racist and homophobic. I wish you would just stop forcing your views on me. And also, I ate bacon and eggs with a glass of cow's milk for breakfast. I don't want to be too harsh on this kid because I think he is a kid. I mean, clearly he is a kid. But, I mean, look, you send me shit like that. I don't know. You need to be held accountable for what you send online, whether you're a kid or not. And if people aren't happy with this kid being shown like this here, well, it ain't my fault that his parents are stupid enough to let this kid have a fucking phone and say stupid shit like that. Honestly, if I have a kid ever, I am gonna like teach them to not do shit like that, and I will fucking keep an eye out, right? And if I catch them sending anything even remotely like that, they lose it. They lose the fucking phone. They don't get a phone until I am confident that they're not going to turn into some little dick like this, right? But anyway. Let's just go into it a little bit because this is probably the youngest meat flake I've ever seen. Why do you think? Where does this kid get the idea that when because I'm talking about the animals that somehow makes me a racist or a homophobe? You know, I've been called racist before because I talk about slavery, right, and how the animals are enslaved, but. Where the fuck does homophobia come into it, guys? Like, I understand him calling me a racist because of this, you know, what I say about slavery. Yeah, fine, all right. You know, you're a kid, you don't understand. That's fine. You're not going to listen, whatever. But what does homophobia have to do with anything that I've said about animals at all? I don't think I've ever even spoke. The only times I've ever spoken about LGBT is to support people who are in the LGBT community. Like I've never actually said anything at all bad about I've never actually really commented on that community on here. So I'm really lost on that one. But anyway, I'm not going to focus on this kid for too long because, you know, young meat flake, but still a fucking meat flake nevertheless, guys. Meat flake nevertheless. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed the meat flakes of the week. I got 3 very different meat flakes of the week there. I will definitely keep doing that. I definitely enjoy going into that, getting these meat flakes of the week highlighted here. If you caught that guy's on Instagram, don't go send him any messages or anything like that. Just fucking ignore him. I've already deleted that message and I'm not going to even respond. But I just thought I'd include it here because it is funny. It is funny. Hope you enjoyed it today, guys. Remember, if you did enjoy this video, then, well, you could drop a like. Just show that you enjoyed it. That would be nice, obviously. A little likey like. You can also join the Patreon team and help me make more videos just like this. The link is in the pinned comment and in the description. And remember, I'm going to tell you about this every single time. Tell you about these 2 things. If you enjoy ripping into meat flakes, then join the fucking meat flake, not join the meat flake club, join the anti-meat flake social club, guys. Buy one of these t-shirts, buy one of these hoodies. I've got hoodies with it on too. It's on the back as well. Kind of show you the back a little bit. A little bit of the back. Can you even see? There's anti-meat flake. Look at that. Guys, pick up one of these, yeah? They're good. They're nice quality. They look good. They fit well. Go pick one up. And the next thing you can do, which you should already be doing, but I'm going to plug it one more time. I'm going to plug it every single time we do a live stream because you need to hear about this. This is important. Every single meal you buy in a restaurant, every single item you buy in a supermarket that is vegan, you can get $1 sent to charity just for buying it. You don't spend any more money. You buy the product and you can raise $1 for charity for every single product. And it can be a vegan sanctuary. It can be an animal rights organization. It can be any charity in a list of charities you can choose from. And you can do this all just by taking a picture of whatever it is you're eating, whatever it is you've bought, and reviewing it in an app. And you do that, and you make $1 for an animal sanctuary, and 25 cents comes to me as well if you use my referral code on the app. Why the fuck would you not do that, guys? You spend no extra money and you make money for charities and you support me. All you got to do is click the link in the pinned comment. It's called A Billion. The link is also in the description. Download the app, enter my referral code, David Rams, all capitals. Start taking pictures, start making reviews, raise a shitload of money. My girlfriend, Annie, has raised over, I think, $1,000, right, for charities. And it's $1,000. Think about how much money that is. And all she did was post pictures, reviews of the products she was already paying for, already eating. And now charities, animal sanctuaries have $1,000 that they would not have had if she wasn't doing that. It's insane, guys. So link is in the pinned comment. Go and grab it. It works on Android. Yes, those of you asking, it's for iPhone and Android. It's for both. Get over there, get that link, get it downloaded, start making the reviews, enter the referral code David Rams as well. Start making the reviews. Get it going, guys. I don't see why would we not do this? It's such an easy way to help the animals. Such an easy way for you to support me as well, right? One of the easiest things you can do. Easiest money you can make for the animals. What have we got coming up? On Sunday, on Sunday, we're going to do a live stream, obviously. And this one is going to be, I think what we're going to do, just to get you ready for that. There is an article that I've seen being shared by some Extinction Rebellion people. At least I saw it in the Extinction Rebellion Reddit. And it's an article about veganism written by this ethical omnivore movement website. And it's very long. And they completely try to like fucking shit on veganism big time. Like calling us like cult members and shit like that. Like it's really, really bad. And I thought to myself, well, it was written in 2018. So I thought, how many people are even using it right now? Well, the thing is, it's still going around. It's being shared on Reddit. I think the anti-vegans refer to it and send it out as a link. So I thought, let's do a live stream where I'll go through it point by point, tear it to shreds, rip it to pieces, right? It's a big, long fucking article. And trust me, they hate us, right? They hate vegans, guys. They hate vegans, these guys who wrote this article. So I'm going to do that on Sunday, I think. And maybe I'll do it by myself. Maybe I'll do it with the guest. We'll see how it goes. All right. I'll let you know as soon as, I'll get the thumbnail up and everything like that once we're all ready to go. And we'll, it's exciting. I'm going to try and break it all down and debunk what needs to be debunked. And maybe there'll be some criticisms in there that we can take on the chin, say, oh yeah, maybe that isn't something we need to work on. But the majority of it is definitely absolute bullshit, guys. Absolute bullshit. So that's what we're going to go for Sunday, I think. All right. So come back on Sunday, tune in. We're most likely going to go live at 3 p.m. GMT. Most likely. It may be 4 p.m. GMT. We'll see which one we feel like. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you enjoyed today. It was a little bit of an angry one from me, a bit more heated from me, a little bit depressing at times. But I will make some short videos from this. I'll clip this down, and we'll post these videos individually, and you guys can share them to non-vegans, right? Some of the more stronger points that we made today, and they'll be up on the channel into next week, most likely Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you all on Sunday for the next live stream.